Hey everybody, welcome into another episode of Savannah Sips. I'm your host Eric Dorsch, a digital producer here at WSAV. And today for Savannah Sips, we're going to check out two places that we visited a couple months ago that were just a lot of fun and are honestly a huge attraction to head downtown and see the nightlife in Savannah. First is the Fitzroy on Drayton Street, and this restaurant bar is such a fun, intimate atmosphere. It's not a very big space, a really enjoyable rooftop bar. But what they have going for them is that they will do everything they can to cater to you and everything you need. Little side note, if you're not a big drinker, they have this really awesome de-alcoholized rosé. I know de-alcoholized, tough word to say, but it was a lot of fun to try. So first off, we spoke with GM Ian Phillips about the bar side of the Fitzroy.
So the Fitzroy is in the location of one of the oldest locations for a public house here in Savannah. The building was built in 1853, had a public house on one side and eventually ended up with a YMCA ran boxing ring on the other. The bar is original to the building, of course not the marble top, but the bar under it. Suffered a large fire in 2003 when it was under somebody else's ownership. And from that point, it took a really long time to get this building restored. It ended up in our hands in 2018. We had a bit of a rough start with COVID, but everybody did. And now we've got a new team between myself and Chef Dan, and we're really looking at bringing this place up into the future, you know. The staff and the food for sure. I mean, from the moment you walk in the door, it's a bright place. You're going to be greeted immediately by somebody. It's a very warm presence by everybody in here. Whether you want a nice 3 or 4 course meal with pairings in between, with a candlelight, we can accompany that for you, as well as if you just want to come sit at the bar and have a drink and talk to Grayson, our bartender. It's a good place for that as well. The staff here will stop at nothing to make sure that our guests are completely and thoroughly satisfied, and we treat them like family, and for that reason alone, they continue to come back. I'm going to start with the cucumber blossom. If you get here at 5 o'clock, the whole place already smells like cucumbers. Our lead bartender, Grayson, comes in here and juices 5 pounds of cucumbers a day for it. And it's a nice sight to see a man with a mullet juicing cucumbers. So it's a light, bright, fun drink. It's got some nice firework, edible flowers on top of it. And it's great whether you're having it in the dining room or out on our rooftop patio with the sun on your face. If you're wanting something a little bit darker, a little bit warmer, we do a 30-day aged Whistle Pig Boulevardier. It's another one of our craft cocktails that does very well here. And then one of my favorite drinks as well is the Left Hook. It's a nice play on the fact that this place used to actually be a boxing ring. It's a jalapeno infused vodka drink with a nice little tahini rim, and we even dehydrate our own garnishes here. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so actually our two most popular cocktails, both the Cucumber Blossom and the Left Hook, come in a mocktail as well. We've got great bartenders. Sometimes they make fun mocktails on the fly that we'll just try for the day. We've also got non-alcoholic wines. I've got a non-alcoholic Riesling and a non-alcoholic de-alcoholized rosé that's all the way from South Africa. So if you want a little bit of bubbly to pair with your flounder, we can do that as well too, even if you're abstaining from drinking. Yeah, we have a gorgeous open-air rooftop patio. We offer our full dining service up there as well. It's set up in this sort of lounge setup, so we've got some nice couches and benches, nice cushions everywhere, a few nice plants out there, and there's also a gorgeous view of our gold-wrapped City Hall.
And we can't thank Ian more for being so hospitable. It was such a fun time to hang out with him. He took us all the way through the drink menu, everything you might enjoy, might want to try, something you may never even thought to try that just it would be very enjoyable. He took us up on the rooftop, and most rooftop bars in Savannah, you think amazing view, and they don't necessarily have a view there, but what they have is such a fun, cozy atmosphere that you get a group of people together and you're going to have such a fun time hanging out with them. We were fortunate that head chef Daniel Reinhardt was also there and had some time to talk, so he took us through the food side of everything so we could get a real idea of what makes Fitzroy such a complete location. And here's a look at that.
So I moved out here from Los Angeles a couple of years ago. Me and my wife were starting a family, and it seemed like Georgia was a easier place to live than LA. I spent a few years down on St. Simon's Island at Sea Island, the big resort. But I was just drawn to the restaurant scene of Savannah. And I like a lot more, working in independent restaurants, places like this, where you have kind of the staff is like a small family, and there's just a lot of creativity to be had, and you're kind of part of a community as far as other restaurants, your vendors, your staff. It's just a nice feeling. I'm really happy to be here. Having ADD maybe, working with my hands and always having, like a kitchen is always in motion. Your menu is kind of always in flux. It's this creative project that never ends. So you feel like you have, anytime you feel like you've kind of settled into a nice rhythm, the seasons start to change, or whatever it is, you think of a new idea for a menu item or for events, for large parties. There's just so many sort of outlets for creativity, and they can go in so many different directions. Yeah, so you rarely just nail a dish on your first try. It's happened, I can count on one hand how many times I've done that in my career, but yeah, usually you taste a couple things, you gather opinions from your cooks, from Ian, our general manager. You get it to a point where if you would like to eat it yourself and you would serve it to a friend or a family member, then that's kind of your sign that it could be a green light to go on the menu. That's not to say it can't evolve while it's on the menu. You might put something on the menu and you see it going out into the dining room over and over again, and you just think at some point, oh, it might be a little bit better if we do it a different way. So nothing is a final work of art here. I mean, well, for one thing, it's just the quality of everything. Just wanting your food to be delicious and flavorful and fresh. If you've ever tasted a tomato at peak season in the summertime that's never been in a refrigerator versus one that's traveled halfway across the world that has spent time in refrigeration, they're like two completely different animals. So part of it is just wanting your food to be as fresh and delicious as possible. But another thing is it can be almost overwhelming to think, okay, what should I cook? What should I put on my menu? And sometimes it helps to narrow yourself to start with the product itself. Instead of me choosing what I want to cook, well, I'll see what's at peak season, what looks the best right now, and then you go from there. So having the featured cut is great because it gives you, for one thing, you can run things that you know might not be as popular, but the people that are gonna order it are gonna love it. Like, having a dry aged steak, that intense, funky, meaty flavor isn't for everybody, but for the adventurous eaters and the carnivores out there, you're gonna love that steak. So it gives you a chance to run things like that. But yes, if something just, the fourth, you have your staff, your atmosphere, your menu, your beverage menu, but the thing you don't have when you first open a restaurant is the guests, and the guests do inform the decisions that you make. So sure, if we have a lot of success for something that was supposed to only be a special, yeah, it goes on the menu. We just needed, with all this butchery we're doing, we were getting a lot of trim from the steaks. We made this steak tartare, it sold really well. That became a permanent menu item the next day. Yeah, so I would start with some Georgia shrimp. It's approachable. It's a chili garlic butter on some beautiful local shrimp. Who's not gonna like that? The beet salad may change throughout. It has this nice ricotta with lemon juice and olive oil that we enrich it with, some roasted beets, shaved fennel. So I always like to have a salad that doesn't have lettuce, that it just has a beautiful, assortment of produce. And then our flounder entree with the asparagus from South Carolina right now, and the peas. It's a really nice dish that I think it feels good during springtime.
And then last question, this one's from my wife. Can you teach me how to cook?
I could give you some pointers.
That's the answer.
The home cooks don't. Hey, salt, butter, and lemon juice. And the home cooks don't use enough acidity. They don't make their food vibrant and bright. So always have fresh lemons next to your little thing of salt when you're cooking.
Our thanks again to the Fitzroy. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, I highly recommend it. It's a great time, great food, great drinks, and great people all around. So definitely give them a look. Heading a little further in town, we're now going to go to 220 Up, aptly named for being on the second floor at 220 Congress Street. It is a prohibition little speakeasy place that has, honestly, I don't exaggerate when I say every drink you could imagine, and they're willing to try making anything you can't even have thought of yet. It's inside the Prohibition Museum, so you get a nice little fun tour of the museum, and about halfway through you stumble upon this bar where they're willing to make you anything, let you keep walking around, you can hang out. There's drink making classes where you kind of learn how to make a few things, and the bartenders and the staff there are so engaging, and we had a chance to sit down and talk with Val Ziegler, the head bartender at 220 Up.
Yeah, so our bar, 220 Up, we are connected to the American Prohibition Museum during the day, so we do everything very classically around here. So the name Congress Street 220, or 220 Congress Street Up, you know what? You can say it any way you want, but it is essentially the address with the word up or down, because back during Prohibition, when there were speakeasies, the way that you would know how to get there is that it would be called the address of where it was, and then up or down, whether it was upstairs or downstairs. So during the day we work with the Prohibition Museum as a speakeasy sort of treat at the end of the museum. People will come in and have a menu to pick drinks off of. They are all classic pre-Prohibition, Prohibition cocktails. And they are welcome to enjoy their cocktail here in the speakeasy or walk through the rest of the galleries that we have here. And then at night, we switch over into sort of our own bar where we still are speakeasy, but we have a larger menu of all classic cocktails. And then we also have a lot of craft cocktails that are crafted. The menu is curated by our bartenders here. So every bartender has their own drink on our menu, so everybody can show off their skills. My drink, I actually don't have a drink this menu, but the last menu, my drink was called the Good For You, and it was a sort of cachaça, ginger turmeric type drink, and I called it that because when you're drinking like a gingery turmeric drink, like you feel like it's good for you, and you know, It might not actually be. So during the day, I'm just gonna kind of separate it like day and night because it's really two totally different operations we got going on here. But so during the day, our list of classic cocktails, I will always recommend the Chatham Artillery Punch to people, which like I know tourists have seen on many a chalkboard outside of the bars and restaurants around here. But because we are like a historical museum, we make it the classic way. So this is the way that it was made in the 1770s when it was invented here in Savannah. And we kind of describe it like the grandfather of a Long Island iced tea, kind of. There's a little bit of bourbon, there's a little bit of brandy, a little bit of rum, some lemon sugar, and it's topped with a sparkling wine. So it sounds really scary, but I promise it's very refreshing. There's only a little bit of each. And what did they say? They call it the humbler of tourists, the vanquisher of men. So that's what I would recommend during the day for sure. At night, right now on our, I don't know when this is going to be playing, but right now on our bartender curated cocktail menu, one of the bartenders, Connor, he invented this drink and he calls it the Betty Boop, and I literally cannot get enough of it. It is like essentially a PB&J espresso martini, and so I know all the girls out there, all the espresso martini girlies would live for this one for sure. We use Chiquita peanut butter agave spirit, so it's like a peanut butter tequila with a little bit of Chambord, a little bit of coffee, and it is just delicious. I love it. It's a little bit of both. It's like we love to leave it for them to sort of discover. So like they'll come in and the classics are on one side of the menu and then our cocktails are on the other side. So they'll take a look at the classics and flip it over and then be like, oh my gosh, I've never even thought of putting this and this together. So a lot of people who are like very adventurous and are looking for a really special craft cocktail experience will order those curated drinks because you can't get them anywhere else. We made them up. So much experimenting. So we really rotate our menu, our custom menu. We rotate it every 3 months. So within those 3-month periods, we are back here experimenting, figuring out flavors. We have a little kitchen in the back, like a prep kitchen in the back, where in the fridge we just have things like that the bartenders are thinking of, like what if we tried this infused syrup, or what if we tried infusing rum with this thing. So I think that's really one of my favorite parts about working here is the fact that we have so much freedom to really be creative with what we do, and so that equals having fun at work, which is like unheard of, but yeah, kind of. Everything I do is perfect. What do you mean? No, I'm kidding. I was trying to do like a twist on a Vesper, which was like the James Bond martini, but I was trying to use sloe gin instead of regular gin and vodka, and like the flavor was just kind of not there. But that's the fun part about it, is like we have this beautiful array of liquors. We have so much liquor. I do believe we actually have the widest bourbon selection downtown. So, I mean, look at it. But we have so much to work with here, so the trial and error doesn't seem that daunting, because it's just like, if this doesn't work, we got this right here type thing, so yeah. Yeah, so we offer cocktail classes here every night, starting at 7 p.m. Every night except Sundays, starting at 7 p.m. And we do, it's around 2 hours, and we do a couple different drinks. We do 2 samples, or 3 samples, and then we do 2 full cocktails that we all make together as a class. And I am an instructor of one of those classes, and I love it. It's probably my favorite part of the job. I love to teach. And so they are super, super informative, but also a lot of fun too. I like to make it sort of like a drunk history kind of vibe. Like everybody's having a good time, and we're drinking a lot, so. But yeah, those are great. Yeah, we have the formula, so it's like a set class. First, we talk about like stirred cocktails and the history of cocktails in general at the beginning of class. We make a sample of a stirred cocktail. We all make a stirred cocktail together, and then we talk about the shaken cocktails, do a sample, all make one together. Not gonna spoil what they are because, you know, they're a little surprise. But we do start off the class with a sample of the Chatham Artillery Punch just to kind of welcome people to Savannah because it is our drink, so.
Thank you so much, Val, for taking time to sit down with us. If I can recommend anything, I'm going to recommend the Artillery Punch. It is the one thing I was able to sample. It was a fun drink. It was a great time. And not going to lie, excited to go back and try the drink making classes. Lord knows I could use some help making a tasty beverage or two. So my thanks again to Ian and Daniel at the Fitzroy and Val at 220 Up. If you haven't a chance, like I said, if you haven't had a chance to check out these places, you don't know what you're missing. It's a great time. It's a lot of fun, and I really encourage it. And moving forward, we want to know where you would like us to go check out. Is there somewhere we have to go that we haven't been yet? We're eager to try everywhere. So you can send those to eric.dorsch@wsav.com. That's eric.dorsch@wsav.com. And for right now, drink safe, drink smart, and hey, drink somewhere different.